the King of Kings.
Even though the existence of King Arthur has been questioned by historians, I believe that he embodies what a king should be, and his legend has stood through the test of time. People would model their lives after King Arthur in order to emulate his high status of chivalry through the ideals of knightly virtues, honor, and service to others. In fact, even today, people have looked to King Arthur as a significant role model. Furthermore, Arthur's ideals of equality can be traced to the symbolism of his group, the Knights of the Round Table, in which the table was round to represent the equality of all people within it, including Arthur. Arthur's legacy as a king will always be infused within popular culture and is one of the most positively viewed kings of all time. On the other hand, Louis XVI has the legacy of being a very unpopular king among his people and ended up being executed in 1793. Throughout his reign, he was unable to resolve France's problems effectively, thanks to his very indecisive nature. And of course, it didn't help him that Marie Antoinette was his wife, especially when she had to make some of the decisions for him. It also didn't help that excessive spending by his predecessors was a major factor in crippling the French economy. Overall, his failure to prevent the revolutionaries sealed his legacy as an incompetent king, even though he was a very intelligent and noble person. After the death of Spanish dictator Francisco Franco, Juan Carlos restored the Spanish monarchy under a new constitution and paved the way to creating a parliamentary democracy. Juan Carlos would step out of Spanish politics in 1982 and allowed the prime minister to be actively involved in the government. However, the king still had control over the armed forces. In 2008, he was considered to be the most popular leader in all of Iberoamerica, which includes all Spanish-speaking and Portuguese-speaking countries. On the other hand, King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia is considered to be one of the cruelest rulers in the world, and his reign has included some of the worst human rights violations in his country. The reason why these horrible acts are allowed to continue are thanks to the vast oil resources that he presides over, which unfortunately grant him some immunity. His rule as a dictator has led to a strict enforcement of Islamic Sharia law, and women's rights have suffered as a result. I personally believe that the role of a king in a society should be to wholeheartedly care for your people and listen to their concerns at all costs. Regardless of a king's popularity, he will always have wealth and status, so he might as well listen to the people instead of becoming an oppressive individual. If the people choose to not have a king, he must be willing to step down, or else he will inevitably die at the hands of his people or be depicted as a despicable figure in history.